You can get mine.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for you.
Thanks,
Tim.
Thank you, Tim.
Appreciate it.
Is it going?
I can't tell.
It's on?
It's on.
Okay. I'd like to call to order this meeting of the Board of Abatement for November 19th, 2025. Our agenda tonight is we have 4 hearings, and we're really tight on a quorum, but we've just barely made it. Oh, even more, because here comes Pat.
Hi, Pat.
And part of the issue is the Select Board that had 7 members on this board has a hearing out or a meeting out in Quechee tonight, so they weren't able to be here. So that makes it a little tight. So as usual, for the record, I will review the procedures that we're going to follow. We open the hearing with the name, the address, and the parcel ID of the property. Ask the applicants to affirm the oath that's in front of them, and ask if anybody has a conflict of interest or had ex parte communications. I will ask the applicant if they have received a copy of the procedures and whether they have any questions about those procedures. And will, with the applicant, identify the statutory abatement category that they are under. And then we'll ask the applicant to present any verbal or written documentation that supports their request. The board will then have opportunity to ask questions. When we're finished with questions within our time frame, I will close the hearing, and we will deliberate in closed session and issue a written decision within 30 days, or usually sooner. We are going to follow the usual procedure and deliberate after we've heard all the hearings, so that we'll do that together, and that's in a closed session. And I would also just like to remind people that we are here to only hear the evidence that people are presenting and to ask questions about that evidence, and to be a little careful about trying to let your opinion be known about what to the applicants. So because we do go into deliberations, and that's the time when everybody's opinion gets aired and decisions are made. So any questions from anybody on our procedure? So we can start with the first hearing. That is, and I take it, are they here?
They said they were going to be here. So I'll give them a few more minutes because there's some folks in the hallway.
Yeah.
And they weren't scheduled to be here until 5:45, so we just
Oh, no wonder they're.
I must have been for the card class next door. Who's going to be out there? Do you want to move?
Do you want to do Pierce
You want
first?
to do Pierce first since they're here?
We can do that, or we, yes.
Because they're not due here till.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're ready at 6 o'clock for the phone.
I told them sometimes we run late
Oh, okay.
because that is true.
Yeah.
Okay. Is everybody okay with that? We'll lift Pierce up since they are here.
Since you're here.
It's cozy here. Sorry. Somebody gets a leg.
Hi.
Hi.
I would like to open the hearing for the property location at 276 Tall Timbers Drive, parcel ID number 13-43-49, span number 285-090-13062. The property owner is Mae Pierce. I believe you were here.
I'm Ray Pierce. This is my daughter who's going to speak for me.
Okay, that's great. Then I would ask, actually both of you, if there's an oath in front of you, if you would just read that to yourself and affirm that oath.
Yes. Are you Jennifer?
I'm
Town.
Jennifer
You go
Town.
by Town? No. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I'd ask the board members, does anybody have any conflict of interest or any ex parte communication about this request? And did you receive a copy of our procedures that we will be following tonight?
I have this. I
Yes.
believe that is.
That's it.
Did you have any questions on how we're going to proceed?
I did not. Thank you.
And the statutory category that you were requesting was, which one?
It was
to
the
pay.
taxes or charges of persons who are unable to pay their taxes, charges, interest, and or collection fees.
Thank you. Thank you. So at this point, you can go ahead and tell us what your request is.
Okay.
And then after that, the board can ask questions.
Okay. So should I read like what we have on here and then kind of elaborate from there?
You can,
that-
or you can tell us what's
Okay.
there, however it works for you.
Okay. So as you all know, the town taxes had gone up a bit this year, which the assessed value, we didn't have, too many issues on that. However, the HS 122, when my mom, May Pierce, files her property taxes, goes off the previous year's assessed value. So her taxes ended up going up initially for her when the state sent the payment. They sent it based on a different value point. My mom gets $1,600 from Social Security a month. She is not one of the lucky ones that has any type of retirement or any type of pension available to her. So she solely lives off her $1,600 that she gets from retirement a month. With that said, she is just barely able to pay her monthly payments to live. I did include copies of what she gets for her Social Security, along with her just typical monthly payments. And obviously, some of these payments fluctuate depending on, what it is. All of that ends up giving her a roughly $530 left each month to be able to pay anything that comes up for her, whether she has insurance deductibles, dental issues, buying food, her vehicle. As an example that was not within this packet is a $150 dental bill that she just had to pay. Does not cover from insurance, so that's an over and above. That comes out of her $530 left a month. She has her vehicle, which is also not within this packet, which is for 2 years is $167. 1 year is $100. So she just had to pay that. Also was a Dartmouth, an outpatient visit that, again, her insurance did not cover, which is $67. Let's see, we have an automotive just for oil change, and it looks like it was an oil change and an inspection, and that was $99, and then there was another $80 for the inspection. We don't have a receipt on, but she paid recently to have her winter tires put on, and that was another $100. That right there does not cost, it does not include any food or any of that type of thing. She gets very, very minimal state help as far as like food benefits, fuel assistance, Dead River We have talked to them and they're kind enough to leave us at $52 a month for her, for just a $52 a month, and hope that her fuel assistance will kick in and is enough to cover any of the fuel. They wanted over $100 a month and she just could not do that. She ended up having to obtain a loan from me to make the first payment for the taxes, which I think was a little over $600, because the state did not cover the difference. So she's trying to figure out how she can pay that back and live, and also get the money for the next payment that she has coming up. Let me just see. I believe in the past we have tax bills that the state has covered the entirety of her tax bill, so that has it has not been a problem for her until this year.
Board members, questions? Lynn?
The house insurance and the car insurance, are they every month or every 6 months?
Every month
Okay.
is the payment, and I did include the payment
Yes.
in the packet of the information, so those are monthly payments.
Because I added them up, and my math is different from yours. I think she has $200 a month, not $5.
And that very well could be. I just did like a super quick estimate, and I was going on the higher end of it. But yes, everything in here is a monthly payment.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Adam?
Do you have a copy of your 24 tax bill, or maybe we do, to show, not this year's, but the previous year's?
Yep, I have right here. 20, and then the total due, right, is that the one, the tax year?
Yeah, I was just curious to see the state payments.
Oh, there's this one right here. And then the year 25, right, the tax bill, the tax year for 25, the total tax was $1,530, the state payment was $1,699.
Okay, and then the previous year before that,
That does
The
not
state
show
payment didn't cover
the
it.
state, the state payment did not show up on this one.
okay.
I would have to look and see, I believe we did have, and I think it was in the email copy, maybe in here. There was, I apologize for not having that in front of me. I do recall that we had to call the state because there was an issue when they paid it. Like when they went to send the money out, they didn't have it, the town had not received the monies yet. So our copy does not show the payment. And I'm trying to look, let me see, because I have a couple different, the copy that we have does not show that. I'm not sure that. I think, was that in the documents, the most recent one that you emailed over to me, that you said finance sent over?
Yeah, they have all their
stuff?
finance stuff. It doesn't necessarily show.
You can see the state payments
So the
on
state
here.
payment was on that one, but not the copy that we have.
Yeah.
So it was showing, that was for tax year 26, so there's one before that one. It was the one that said tax year 24. So I remember that one we had called in and the state hadn't sent that payment yet. And then they sent it, and I think it was over by $100 or so.
In this billing statement, the state payments show, but there's not a tax bill in there.
Not the actual
Another
tax
one.
bill
No.
showing, yeah.
And that's
So
from finance.
historically, she's ended up, the state has covered it in full, at least in full, if not done an overpayment.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So do you anticipate that going forward, that you would, the
Yes.
state would be paying those tax payments
Yes.
as well?
Yeah, yeah. because based on her income, and she's only getting that one Social Security income, and Social Security is not going up. So it's gonna be in that level.
And would you anticipate a payment that would be retroactive to this year's tax bill if they hadn't got it out yet?
I don't think that's the case. I think what happens is the townwide reassessment occurred and the
Okay.
state payment comes later. So
It was-
when you
so-
file taxes next year, your
you get-
income, it will
So then we're
kick in
gonna
then.
have
So-
this new tax bill with the one, with her value, her 105 value being listed. So we'll have this one right here to base it from. So what happens is this bill comes out in July, file the taxes for April, and it's all of that previous year's
Right.
information,
Right.
which is kind of an issue in its own, I think, you know, as far as that goes, and that's something I think, you know, maybe a phone call to the state will.
I think all towns have different tax
Ex-
dates, so
exactly.
it's difficult.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this one was a little bit of a
And it particularly
off.
showed up this year because we'd done a
Right.
townwide reassessment, but
Yes.
as you mentioned in your previous
Yeah,
taxes.
there's history
there-
that is covered in
Correct.
fall every year, and then it was
Yeah.
quite a hit
Yeah.
on top of that. Yeah.
Any other questions? Anybody?
I would just add, it's quite remarkable, actually. I mean, that my observation is, from 24 to 25, you folks said that you were fine with the reassessment value? Like the 105 versus the 47?
To be honest with you, we weren't really sure.
Yeah.
She didn't end up getting a letter or anything until we got the tax bill. So we didn't get any notification on the difference of it, and then she got the tax bill. We had called and it was stated that they were sent out, but she did not end up getting anything, or else we probably would have stopped in to try to grieve that, just because of that. It's, you know, it was what, $58,000 difference, which great for selling, but not.
You can still grieve that
what I was
this
just
next
gonna
year.
say.
If you-
Okay.
Yes, you would probably want to do that and check
Good
with
to know.
the...
I didn't know that we still. I thought there was a certain time frame.
And there will be a
each year.
certain time
Each
things, but
year.
each year there
Okay.
is, so you can still do
Okay.
that next year.
I would reach out to the assessor's office and ask them, even just make a phone call. You can speak with Christina Tardy, she's the assistant assessor, and ask her what the time frame is for grievance for next spring. She may not know the specific dates, but she can tell you whether it's April,
And
May.
then I'll just put it on my calendar and give them a call. Thank
Yeah.
you for that information.
Yeah.
Definitely do that, because it's. something
Anybody
that's,
else? If not, if you do have anything else you'd like to add?
I don't believe that I do.
Okay, thank you. Then I will close this hearing, and we will go into deliberations later on after we hear all of our hearings and discuss your request and make a decision. And the law is you'll get a written notice within 30 days, but it's sooner than that.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate the opportunity to.
Thank you. You're very welcome.
Thank you very much
I know
for
it's
coming
hard to
in.
come here, but we're a friendly crowd.
Yes. Except Nancy.
Oh, except for
Except
Nancy.
Nancy.
Do you want us to stay? How does that
We go
typically
into
work?
private deliberative session
Okay.
once we're done all the hearings, so that's not open to
So
the
we're
public.
entering-
So you're welcome to,
Okay.
you're welcome to observe if you like, but you are also free to go.
All right.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll know in 30 days, right?
Well, it will be sooner than
Okay.
that.
Thank you so
I
much.
draft them once they make a
Okay.
decision, so it's usually, with the holiday in there, it might be as much as 2 weeks now, but it's not, it doesn't take too long.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank you.
both.
Take care.
Bye.
Why not?
Okay, I'll look
see the
out.
other-
Do you think you saw
I
somebody
think I
else?
saw somebody
yeah.
peeking around. Yeah.
Now I have to do something. This is the worst part of the abatement here. Someone's like, and sent government operations. That's crazy, but the homestead resolution doesn't, you can't like resubmit a reassessed value if it's higher for your homestead. That doesn't make any sense.
You sit right
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah, exactly. I don't understand why we do it that way. So
Yeah.
now I have things to do, guys.
You guys can sit. It's kind of cozy, I apologize.
No, thank you.
I'm Lisa, by the way, I'm the one you've been communicating with. This is Nancy Howe, she's the chair. She'll introduce kind of how we do things.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I take it Charles and Lynn Dowd.
Yes.
So I'm going to open the hearing for the property location at 3703 Jericho Street, parcel ID number 34/span number 285-090-12689, and the participants are Charles and Lynn Dowd. In front of you, there's an oath. Would you please read that to yourself and affirm that oath?
They get it in advance.
Okay. Does anybody have any conflict of interest or had any ex parte communications? If not, did you receive a copy of our procedures that we will be following tonight?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you have any questions on how we're going to operate?
No.
Okay. And the statutory category that that you are requesting under, and I think you did not choose one because you were unsure.
Right.
We do have to have one by statute. We've got to pick one of those. So it,
Okay. Do I pick one or?
well, technically we'll help you.
Technically, we pick, but
Probably the one that makes the most sense is where there's an error.
that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Where it says taxes in which there was a clear or obvious error or mistake of the listers is because
Is it-
you are contending there's a mistake based on the address, correct?
Right.
So
Yes.
that to me was the closest.
Yeah, I
If you're
thought so,
comfortable
too.
with that.
Is-
Yes, thank you.
So at this point, if you would like to tell us about your request and provide any documentation.
It's very simple. I mean, we bought a new home up on Jericho Street. Whatever happened, we didn't get the tax bill. My wife, but we got a delinquent notice, and it shows that the incorrect address on the delinquent notice, which means the bill didn't come to us. And so it's a $225
226, yeah. We can
on
only,
a $23,000 tax bill, but I mean.
we never did receive the bill. Flo or someone sent an email. And I only realized our 20 years in the state, in Quechee, was always escrowed, so we always paid on time. This is the first time that we signed up to receive the tax bill instead of having it escrowed. Then I got the delinquent notice, and I realized it was mailed to Woodside Road, not Woods. So I don't know whether the post office lost it, whether it was mailed to a Woodside Road address. I don't know.
Well, it does look like on your actual tax bill, they have the correct address for you.
Right.
So that should have been mailed to there.
I would think so, but we never received it. Again, the delinquent notice in September came to Woodside Road, so I don't know how that was typed, how the delinquent notice was generated. If it was generated differently than the tax bill, I don't know what department does that. So it's either a post office error, I don't know. So that's all we can say is we're just asking for, we have since paid that plus the penalty, and then we're just appealing. So you grant it to us or you say no?
Sarah?
Just a quick question. You mentioned having a home in Quechee for a while before?
20 years.
20 years in Quechee, okay.
Yes.
But it was always escrowed in the
It's
mortgage.
just escrowed in,
So we
yeah.
never,
So it's not like we don't pay our taxes.
Right, that's,
300,000 in taxes.
you're not a new member to the town. You
no, we're
just
not. We're
moved
not.
to
It's just that
addresses and changed the
it's
setup.
It's the first time since we've owned that we opted to get a
Get the
tax bill.
Sure.
And quite honestly, I didn't pay attention to look for it in July, because the bank always paid.
Yes, that's how I do it, so I get it.
Well, you did clear up one thing for me. I was very confused over a couple of residents that address say Hard Road. Is that your previous one?
Yes,
Luigi?
yes.
Adam?
All of your closing documents have your address accurately from whatever the town would have taken the address off.
We don't have
transfer.
closing documents.
So you
We
take
never
out the
see,
deed
it's a
How does the
property
tax card get
transfer
up?
tax return is sent upstairs. It still requires somebody manually putting in the name. I don't know, nor did I ask anyone because I was waiting for this. I don't know how the delinquent taxes, whether it says finance department on it. So I don't know if at any point the tax bill matched the delinquent letter or not. So I don't know how those
My
are
question
generated.
is more whatever came in at the transfer was accurate so that it was a mistake on our end. It wasn't a mistake from the lawyer's office or whoever.
Well, I started the communication with Mr. Matthew Franklin of Title Mortgage, and he checked his system, and he had conversations with Alana and Flo, and I think in their system, they still say, they show Woods Road too, so it's just a mystery. And then this one that says Woodside Road, so all I'm saying is that there's two different addresses shown. We just never got the bill.
Anybody have questions? If not, I guess we can close this hearing, and we will go into deliberations later after all the hearings, and those deliberations are closed.
Okay.
And then we will act on your request, and you should receive, technically, we have 30 days. You will get it sooner than 30 days.
With the holiday, it'll be probably.
We're talking $15 a person.
No, we appreciate you considering it and taking the time to
Thank you guys for coming in. We
do our
appreciate it.
appeal. Okay.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Thank you very
Good
much.
holidays.
You too.
Blessed New Year. Thank you.
And we're glad you're staying in Vermont, in Hartford.
Yes.
What's it?
We're glad you're staying in Hartford.
We are too. Thanks. Good night, guys.
Look at that, just about on time, except for Brian. Let's see if I don't know if he even has my cell phone, if he would ever. Somebody's texted me. No, different one.
The only one who's going to be here.
Right, well, yeah, the fun one, that's right.
Fun one, yes.
So, let's wait, I'd like to wait till 6 because Brian's trying to get here from Queechee.
Okay.
And then maybe we both dial at 6 o'clock. And I'll dial Mr. Regan.
Sure.
And you can dial Brian.
Brian.
Yes, so we,
I was so impressed with your watch. Sorry, I just got a little distracted.
Oh, it's like,
It's got a lot going on.
Yeah.
it's about time.
I like that. Boom. She'll be here all the week. Please check the waiters and waitresses. Try the
Because I'm so serious, people don't usually think I have a sense of humor.
oh no,
But it's alive and
Home
well.
at the State House.
I'm alive and well.
Nice, nice.
I don't like that pen you have so much, though.
Did I give you Brian's?
Okay. If you're Patriots fans, then I can understand why.
You can see what her pen says.
Because he's a smart young man.
For his 35th birthday or something, his wife, that's what she gave him as the ticket. They flew to Buffalo so they could see a game.
Nice.
Well, I'm not sure all about that, but being from Buffalo, so I tell the story because my father was born in the Bahamas, grew up in South Florida, and then moved to Buffalo.
Oh, jeez.
Jeez Louise.
And he said, Buffalo isn't hell, but you can see it from there.
Wow, what a fun time.
I stole his. Just to see if
And of course, that's my home.
he's going to respond.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Did
he
you tell your
will.
father at one point People usually move the other direction.
Well, in general,
From the
but,
cold
you
to the
know.
warm?
I just texted Brian to see if he would respond, asking if he has an ETA, but he may not respond, so we'll give it just another maybe minute, and then we'll both
He's
dial.
got service up there too.
Well, he said he thought he did at the club, but if he's coming from there, we could lose him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I ask Mark a call a question? Do you live in Calla?
Yeah,
How do you get classified full-time or part-time?
I have no idea. I don't think they asked the question.
Okay.
Hey, Brian.
I think everything's assumed,
To be full-time.
yeah, you can make your choice.
Okay. We'll wait. Okay, thanks.
Awesome.
Sounds way.
He'll be here in about 5. He's just coming off of 4.
Awesome.
I think they would go crazy.
So I had already warned
I
Mr.
was just
Regan
gonna
that
say
we
that.
might,
How would you possibly
we
be
sometimes
able to
run a little
track
late, so we'll just leave it at that. Till Brian,
want
Track
to be
of
here for
that,
this one.
you just have to,
I don't know. We're not here that time of year.
12 months or
Okay.
But I was,
No, I mean, I'm sure Brian wanted to
yeah,
make sure he was here.
and that could change, I mean, from month to month, if people decide to go.
So can we wait and have this conversation in deliberations, or ask the people who are part of this hearing? Because the recorder's on and we're not in open session at the moment. No, I didn't shut it off. I said we'd just be a minute. I assume people know. Because every time I shut it off,
You forget to put it.
no, it's not that. It's that it breaks the recording into 3 or 4 different sessions, so then you have to upload the recording onto the website.
Oh.
So I do turn it off for deliberations, but, you know. So Brian should be here in a few minutes. He was just coming off Route 4, headed down, so 3 or 4 minutes. I had told Mr. Regan sometimes we run a few minutes late, but I would call him as soon after 6 as I could. So it's a good time for a snack.
I felt that. I sense it's a good thing. Also, Adam, I want you on like my murder mystery team. If I ever do like a murder mystery, you ask some questions. I'm like, I don't have one, but if I ever do have one, you have the best question.
You know the game, the murder mystery game?
You should do those. Like detective question asking.
You enjoy mystery, oh, you both are.
Okay, well then maybe we have to do something with this idea. No, think about it.
Anybody
I went
want
to
chocolate while I'm...
one of those
No?
lawnmowers. You know,
What is wrong with you?
my nephew is so smart.
Trying to behave before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, but no, before the time goes, because you only have an hour.
Oh, really? I didn't think
See if we can do it without spilling
And
everywhere.
they do.
I didn't even buy the cheap kind this time.
No?
Usually you guys complain at me because I buy the cheap kind.
Oh,
The
yeah.
cheap kind that I found, and I think it doesn't have to, is when I got to the fair one year, they all tipped over.
Yeah.
They wouldn't stand like this, and all I could see was those falling all over the back.
Right.
In the corner, which is where we were supposed to be looking, and all of a sudden the lights flashed, and I said to my sister, oh, I think that's where it is.
There you go.
It's pretty obvious. It was fun. There's one in Claremont.
Lisa, who are we waiting to come?
Brian Gazda, who is the Department of Public Works Director.
Oh.
So he was hoping to be able to participate in person. So he was at the Queechee Forum that the Select Board is doing. So he's headed from there. And I will call Mr. Regan, we'll open his hearing, and he'll do his thing, and then Brian can weigh in, or however Nancy structures it. There we go. All right, I'm going to call Mr. Regan then.
Okay.
And Brian, you can sit here or here. I'm going to call Mr. Regan right now. We haven't opened the hearing yet. Thank you for racing over.
Yeah, thank you for doing this.
Good thing the police weren't out because I was speeding down the board.
We're recording right now, so
It's okay, they didn't catch him in the act.
Any surprises in Cleachie? Any surprises in Cleachie?
No.
Was there a good turnout?
What's that?
Good turnout?
Not really. There was maybe about 10 people.
Oh, wow.
I think there might have been more people in Zoom, but actually in the club there was only about 10 people or so.
Yes, I'm going to do the same. You hold on. We're going to, Nancy Howe is the chair of the Board of Abatement, and she will be opening the hearing just momentarily. Let me put you on speaker. I got it as loud as I can make it.
I will welcome, hello, Mr. Regan. I will open this hearing. The property location is 66 Kingfisher Road, number 1D, parcel ID number 12-8128-NVC-1D/span number 285090-11128. And the applicants are Stephen and Barbara Regan.
Can you confirm that he can hear us?
Yes. Could you hear me?
I can, yes. Yeah, my wife is with me also.
Great, thank you. And we also have Brian Gazda here, I think you've traded emails with him. He's with us here tonight as well. For Brian, in front of you, there's an oath.
Sure.
Would you please take a look at that and affirm that? Steve, for you and your wife, I'm going to read the oath to you, and would you please affirm it for me? Under the pains and penalties of perjury, do you solemnly swear that the evidence you give in the cause under consideration shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. And then I would ask if any board members have any conflict of interest or any ex parte communications. And apparently not. And did you receive a copy of our procedures that we follow?
Yes.
And did you have any questions about those procedures?
No.
And to identify the category that you are making your request under, I believe you indicated it was under the water and sewer section.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so at this point, I would ask if you would go ahead, well, before we get started on that, I'd like to take a minute or two. First of all, thank you for completing an extensive history of what's been going on with you. And it sounds it was a difficult job to do. But before we begin, I'd like to clarify a little bit the role of the Board of Abatement.
Sorry,
is it
I'm
working?
getting a spam risk coming in.
Okay.
So, I apologize, Mr. Regan. My phone is rejecting a call.
Okay.
I just wanted to clarify our role here. What we are doing tonight is we are actually in quasi-judicial hearings to hear requests for an abatement of taxes or charges or fees. Our authority is really specifically spelled out in state law. And as a quasi-judicial board, we do not do any research on our own. Our job is to hear presentations from parties involved and then enter our deliberations and consider those categories and make our decision. And therefore, some parts of your request are really beyond our authority. We cannot reclassify or adjust any of the rate structures or have any control over parts of meter installations, nor do we have any authority to direct anyone else to do so. Nor can we abate any future charges. What we can do is hear your information tonight and hear it. We will deliberate and act on your request for an abatement of your water sewer charges up to this date. That's what we can do tonight. So do you have any questions on that?
Yeah, well, so what, does your board make a determination or recommendation, or what goes after that?
All we can do is make a decision on what, if anything, to abate for your tax bill to you. We can do nothing more than that.
Okay, that's fine.
I think, I think a lot of your information you could pass on, and you've already passed it on, I think, to Brian, who's our Public Works Director, and go from there. So if you would like to present your case for abatement of your water and sewer bills, I would have you go ahead and do so. And then we'll ask Brian to make a comment too, and then the board will ask you questions of both of you.
Fair enough. Thank you. Good evening, members of the board. My wife and I are requesting abatement of water and sewer charges for a condominium that we've owned in Quechee for the past 17 years and going forward. Except for a few long weekends during Christmas in the early years in Quechee, our property has remained completely unoccupied in the winter and spring months for the past 17 years. If necessary, we can provide our credit card statements, tax returns for last year to document that we were not in Vermont during these months and that the property generated no rental income. This pattern has been consistent for all of the years, all 17 years we've had the property, and we believe similar properties with meters would have paid significantly less during the same period. While we do recognize the need for flat billing without a meter, we're asking this board to address two fundamental inequities. First, we're being charged substantially more than a metered unit with zero water use. If a property with proven zero usage pays $277.39 for the winter quarter, how can a higher flat rate of $376.92 for the winter quarter be considered reasonable? We believe owners without meters should have access to fair billing options that reflect actual usage. Second, our property is classified as year-round despite generating zero usage during winter and spring months when unoccupied. This means we've been paying year-round rates for services that we're not using. And this is really the key point. In essence, we've been subsidizing other units' water usage for 17 years and are being required to subsidize these other units going forward. I think that's really the key point here. We respectfully request retroactive adjustment for these past 17 years to match metered zero usage rates and for an immediate reclassification to a seasonal rate going forward, and or an immediate installation of water meter at no cost to us so that billing going forward can actually reflect actual usage. Thank you for your consideration. I understand what you've just said a moment ago, that from what you said, it sounds like we can only have access to potentially access to repayment, compensation for the 17 years that we've lost money, and potentially money that we're going to ask to subsidize other properties going forward. The numbers, the actual dollar amount, I did submit to your committee, to your board, an overcharge of water and sewer bills for our past 17 years. And I think it's very clear. It's very simple to read and understand. I don't have to go through this. But I think if you look at this, it's fair, reasonable, and this is really what we're asking for. I think that's really, you have all together, you have also the statement for the record regarding water and sewer billing equities. Brian and I have had an exchange you've seen that. And I think that's the argument, that's the case I would present. Thank you.
Thank you. And yes, we do have all of those, and they will be part of our record. Before we do questions, Brian, would you like to comment?
Yes, thank you. I don't know, I just sent out a fairly somewhat, maybe a little bit detailed memo. This is a little bit confusing to understand. Queechee is a unique structure for water and sewer rates. And the vast majority, as I put in my memo, 76% are flat accounts. I being one of them. I live in Queechee and I have a sewer account. This has been looked at over the years by other DPW directors, and the current rate structure that we have, which for water is based off of bedrooms. I'm working with a consultant right now, we have been since last year, to make sure the rates are equitable. We really can't find a better way than to do it than the way we're doing it right now. The actual recommendation from the consultant in the last meeting we had is that everybody should probably be a flat account, because there's more flat accounts in Queechee than there are metered accounts for that. You know, it goes to the equability of whether you're there or not, you expect your water and sewer to be there for you, right? So just as, you know, they have electricity, as I put it, as they have other utilities, because these are two utilities. That's basically all they are. You expect them to be there. We have piping, we have infrastructure, I have staffing. It's not a seasonal business that we're in. It's a year-round business that we're in. So even though for individuals like the Regans that only occupy it, you know, seasonally during the course of a year, we have ongoing annual expenses that must be met to maintain the system for everybody, whether you're a full-time resident of Queechee or whether you're a part-time resident of Queechee. And that is something, you know, we're looking at the rates to see if there is a way to maybe adjust the rates a little bit equitably, but I don't see where there's going to be much that we're going to do differently in the structure that we have, being that most of the condominiums can't be metered. And that's the reason why they're flat. When they were developed and built in the 70s and 80s, the town wasn't a part of that. That was done by the Queechee Development Corp. The town didn't take over this system until the late 90s and early 2000s. So we weren't the developers of that. So the units that are newer, that are in Newton Village, were built in the early 2000s, after the town had taken over. So at that time, per our ordinance, meters were installed. So that's why you have that disparity between where Mr. and Mrs. Regan live and their neighbors across the street from them there. We didn't cause that. You know, the ratepayers, you know, the ratepayers throughout Queechee weren't the reasons why this happened today and the situation where it's at. And it's just, to me, I understand them not being there, but, you know, like as I said, you know, I'm sure they're still paying Green Mountain Power some money every month, you know, for that, unless they turn it off. And we're no different than any other utility for that, so.
Thank you, Brian. Any questions? We're open for questions.
Is it proper for me?
Yes.
to comment?
Yes. Would you like to comment, Steve?
I appreciate what Brian's given the historical. I get it. I understand that. But I think Brian's he's given a solution to the whole problem for a flat rate for everyone for water and sewer in Hartford Township. And that way, I will not be treated, I will not be subsidized in anyone. We'll all pay the same fair amount. And that's, to me, that would be the simplest solution.
Okay. Thank you. I will just make one comment, though, that the town of Hartford has two water systems. Correct. The Queechee water system is a separate system from the rest of the town.
Correct. And for the Wilder, White River Junction, Hartford water systems, I wouldn't see any changes of going to that, because the vast majority of them are metered.
Right.
Correct.
Anybody? I guess at this point, I think you've provided us with a great deal of information. Both you and Brian have. So unless you would like to, if you have anything further to add, you're welcome to do so.
No, I just want to thank the committee, the board, for having me to participate in this from Williamsburg. And the bottom line for me, all I'm seeking, my wife and I are seeking, is simply fairness. That's all, fairness. And I think what the system right now, as it is just not fair. And I think we're subsidizing others, as I've said. And there are solutions. I think there are solutions, but I just Brian hit one of them, and I think it's a problem that needs to be resolved, and it needs to be resolved now. This has gone on for too long. Anyway, I thank you very much for your time.
Oh, Linda has a question.
I guess we do have a question, Linda?
Just because I don't know this answer. Brian, you mentioned like Green Mountain Power can turn power off, but water supply cannot, it can't be.
Well, we could, I mean, depending on the structure, so typically there's like we call it a curb stop. It's a valve that would go, like if you have your home, we have a curb stop in front of your house, so we can go turn. A lot of these condo units don't have that. So if we turn that off, we would turn it off to all the units within the condo. And some of them are metered, some of them are not. It's really a hodgepodge that we have out in Gucci, so.
And it's been on the newer construction happening.
Correct.
The older construction.
Correct.
Don't have.
Correct.
And when the person bought the property, that they were aware.
They should have been, yes. If when the Regans bought their property, it's been that way since these units were developed. I think their units were developed in '86. So it's been that way ever since then. So.
Okay, thank you.
Adam?
Even if somebody has a curb stop and they have it shut off for a time period, is there still a minimum charged for their being water service when they decide to connect?
If you have that, the water ordinance allows for vacancies. If you notify us, we can turn it off. Your account wouldn't be charged, but then you would have to pay a disconnect and reconnect fee every time you did that. But you got to have justification as to why it's happening.
That's a question. Would it be possible for all these units to get meters if somebody wanted to do that?
No idea.
Okay.
So we don't physically get into the structures themselves, so that's where that responsibility would be part of the HOA for them to, and any cost. We supply water to a meter pit, and from that line that goes into the building and throughout the building would be the responsibility of the HOA or the individual condo owners at that time. So.
Anyone else?
One last thing. Will I be receiving a written summary of your deliberations or your discussions?
What you will be getting, we do deliberate in a closed session, and you will receive a letter within 30 days, certainly much sooner than that, regarding the results and our reasoning and the reasoning.
I don't know if do you have my Williamsburg, Virginia address? Otherwise, I can get problems with mail.
That's the address that you've put on your application, and that's where I've been sending things by certified mail, and I will also email it to you. I do it both ways.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else?
Anybody else? If not, thank you for joining us by phone.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming, Brian. And I will close this hearing.
Thank you, Mr. Regan.
And we will...
Happy Thanksgiving.
You too.
Thank you.
To you as well.
We will discuss this in deliberations.
Thank you, Brian.
So many papers here, I lost my agenda.
I have mine. It's right there. It's underneath your pad of paper. Keep your stuff together.
I know, that's too much stuff. Okay, I think you said the only one that we have left that we skipped over was MT Associates, LLC, and Lisa, I believe you said they were not.
That's right.
Coming?
They emailed me yesterday and asked if they were required to be here, and I said no, and I was under the impression they did not plan to attend.
Thank you. Then I will, as usual, we still have to hear this request and act on it. People are not required to be here. So I will open the hearing for MT Associates LLC, property location 906 Hartford Avenue, parcel ID number 24-132, span number 285-090-13330. And is there anybody that has any conflict of interest or ex parte communications?
Just because I go there every day. I don't know anybody from,
Well, I guess
only the clerks.
Okay. So they have, you have their request, and I guess their issue was they believe they had paid their taxes on time, and sent several postmarked envelopes, and they're received a delinquent notice because it was not received on time. And they provided two envelopes, one, or they didn't provide, they provided the one that, and I believe this is a type of postmark that is put through a postage meter at the site, not at the post office. So at that point, anything can happen between the time it gets gone through the postage meter and to the post office. You have another envelope that I think was provided.
It's the third one from the end.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
That says that the envelope, the town did not receive the payment until August 19th, which was past the
Post office.
the post office.
The White River Post Office
that stamped it
Right.
as August 19th, which is past the deadline. So that is basically their request. They would like their penalties and interest abated. Is there anything that, questions you would have if they are there that you would like to bring up in the open hearing?
Why doesn't it have our address on this envelope? The one that says August 19th.
I think it looked like it was a picture.
Oh, it's a check. Yeah, it's in the window.
You can't read it.
This, see right here?
Yes,
It's a scan.
no, it's the other one. The other one, and I think it's just that the contents of the envelope have been removed.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the white back of the
Oh, right.
Oh.
It's a window.
Yeah, there is a picture of it with the check inside.
Right, get that one in that page that had the document in it.
So my question is, they tried to send it on August 1st, and White River Post Office didn't get it till August 19th. That seems to be the problem.
That's what they're claiming in their
Right.
presentation, I think, is that they stamped it on August 1st, and I think it'll be up to us in deliberation to determine how to figure out about the discrepancy and how we feel about that in terms of abatement.
Jen?
You can set any postage meter to any date you want.
Right.
You could set it to April 1st, 2025 if you so desire today. The same.
Anybody else?
Can I ask a question about, do we pay fees if, like processed fees, if a payment doesn't come in at a certain time? Do we have something that we have to pay an interest on our end? Like, are we losing, like, if we abate, this is just they're asking for the late fee, is my understanding. So does that actually impact the larger tax base in the same way abating full taxes does? Or no?
I think all of it does depend on the amount, but I think it was explained to us when we look at that question at a different meeting, that when the finance department puts together their budget, they include a revenue source, and within that revenue source is the anticipation of interest and penalty fees that they will get. So it does impact the budget in some way.
Thank you. I'm so happy you knew the answer to that question.
I wouldn't have, except we asked it before.
In their packet, there was an oath that they had to take, or how are we going to get around that? Because the oath talks about perjury.
I think at this point, there's no requirement.
They received this when I mailed, both by email but they're not here to formally take the oath, but we do that with they're not required to attend. They're not required to check off a box saying I received the oath. I can tell you they did, both by mail and by email.
Yeah, because I was thinking that I would like to assume that they are telling us the truth. But I'm hearing that there are ways to get around that. And if they had signed an oath, wouldn't that be?
I think we can have this discussion probably in deliberation.
Right.
Yeah, I can wait till deliberation.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you have questions that somebody here might be able to answer that are not related to how we kind of work through the evidence.
Or anything
before
that
us.
is totally different than evidence that we've seen, that we've had done in open session that we want to.
Yeah, no, thank you, Lisa, because you did answer my question.
Thank you.
Anything else? If not, I will close this hearing. And we will then go into deliberations. Does anybody feel they want a break before we deliberate? Are you ready to continue on?
Feeling great.
We're recording. We're out of deliberative session.
All right, would somebody like to make a motion on the first one that we heard on for May Pierce, property location 276 Tall Timbers Drive? Jen?
I move that we grant the request of $1,337.50 of the abatement.
Seconded.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Not? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? That motion carries. The next one we did was Charles and Lynn Dowds, property location 3703 Jericho Street. Got a request for abatement.
I'll make a motion that we abate the amount requested of $226.16.
Is there a second?
Who seconded it? Joe?
Seconded. Is there any further discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? That motion carries. The next one was Stephen and Barbara Regan of 66 Kingfisher Road, number 1D. We have a motion.
I move that we deny the abatement.
Is there a second?
A second.
Is there any further discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? That motion's carried. And that'll be the tough one to write. And the last one was the MT Associates LLC requesting an abatement of interest. Motion?
I move we deny their abatement. Seconded.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries. I think that takes care of all of them.
I'm going to adjourn.
Before we adjourn, is there
Dang
any?
it, it's always a before we adjourn.
I know. I'm going to make it put that on the.
My hope is the next thing you'll hear from me is about elections, not about any more abatements. And so, you'll get a little reprieve perhaps through November to mid-December, maybe the end of December if you're really lucky. You might not hear from me for a minute or two.
You want to take bets?
Bite your tongue.
So does anybody else have anything that they need to have addressed? If not, you go ahead.
Oh, I move that we adjourn.
We are adjourned. Thank you all for coming out. And we were fortunate to have a quorum.
Nice job, Nancy.
Guys, could I have some help folding up these tables and putting the chairs back?